All right, good evening, guys. It's your girl AniYa, and we are back for another exciting session of our Economic Crisis Initiative. And tonight we have a number of people joining us. We're going to have such great information for the community. And if you're tuning in for the first time, I'm welcoming you and saying get ready to take notes, but also just know that this is a community that is really going to change your lives. And the information you're getting here, you know, you could do whatever you want with it, research it, etc. But the bottom line for those that are going to be watching after, you know, we post on YouTube or post within our groups or what have you, the bottom line is to really change your mindset, right? Let's see how we as a community can literally change the way we look at money so we can decrease debt and increase wealth. So let's do that. And we're going to kick off with our introductions. Again, I'm AniYa, and we're going to kick off our introductions, I guess, with Miss Mimi. And then we have several other ladies on, and then the gentleman will definitely be able to go on. All right, Miss Mimi.
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. My second night in a row with Miss AniYa. I'm here in Toronto, Canada. I am an entrepreneur. I have a law firm as well as a tech company. I also do sales for a mineral makeup company that's based out of Toronto, vegan, cruelty-free. I love what I do, and my mission is to help others and help others advocate for themselves. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited to see how this conversation will elevate and get to know everybody else on the call.
Ty, are you there? And then I see TOTNEY back there too. Ty or TOTNEY, whoever wants to unmute.
Hey. How you doing?
Good evening, everybody. Hi.
Oh, okay. Well, TOTNEY then, and then Ty will, I guess, jump in. TOTNEY, who are you and what do you do? I'm so happy to see you.
Hi, everybody. My name is TOTNEY Johnson. I have a cleaning company. It's called Bedrock Cleanup LLC. We do junk removal and we do cleaning, move in and out cleaning. And we pretty much, I work with real estate brokers. I work with property managers, landlords, and supers. That's pretty much it. Yes, that's my fire. Yay.
And she has sponsored a couple of the AniYa shows, and she is a super great human in our community. So we'll talk about more of that in a little bit, but that's her flyer, Bedrock Cleanup. And and Mimi sponsored our show last night with all the work that she does. And Ty, I guess Ty is up next.
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Ty. I'm a youth advocate. I'm currently going to City Tech where I study a CUNY BA degree, which is an interdisciplinary degree. And it basically is where I can put all my classes together. I created my own curriculum where I focus and maintain on youth urban development. So I'm here, of course, with lovely AniYa to work alongside everybody to bring teachable information about finances to the youth. So thank you for the opportunity.
Love it. I'm so excited. And she is just doing such a great work with the youth and with the Haiti Give Back Project. All of you actually have your hands involved in this humanitarian work. That is super important. We'll talk about that later. Thank you guys. And I think Ron Peterson is up next. Ron?
Good evening, all. Good evening, all. Just by way of introductions, I'm from a generation that we didn't really have the technology of today. I mean, cell phones was a big you couldn't carry to put it in your pocket. So having said that, yeah, it was bigger than that. I mean, actually, you almost had to have a briefcase or something to carry those kind of cell phones. But I'm very much interested in, as you mentioned, in terms of youth development. I cut my teeth on youth development, designing programs, creative programs that brought, you know, just different ideas, technologies to, you know, to the community where there was a need. I'd look to present those kind of programs to satisfy those needs. So I came up through community development, got a master's in community economic development, and just kind of finished a doctorate in humanities. And so that's so much about that in terms of that part of me, but I'm very much interested in the technology of the day, creative ways of financing projects, humanitarian projects, learning and teaching more about entrepreneurship, about the different nuances that the other folks utilize. You know, when Trump says like, "Oh, okay, well, you know, don't get mad at me because I got a better accountant." What does that mean? You know, there's a difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. And so what does that mean? And how does that translate to those of us who could play in that game, but we don't even know what that's all about? So I look to make those bridges in terms of what's out there, what's being used by those who are as tools, as methods, as strategies, and then breaking it down to a level that where we can apply that to your LLC, or you can apply that to your trust, or you can apply that to whatever it is that we're doing, so that we can make the difference between those who have and those who have less.
Oh my God, so beautifully said. I am so amazed by how you put that. And that's why we do what we do here, because obviously, you know, you hit so many points, and we'll come back to all those points later. But thank you so much, Ron, for caring about us. And the fact that you have a degree in humanities also enlightens us and helps us to understand where your passions are and your heart is. So, wow, I'm so blown away by what you just said. And yes, it's not like we have less, we just don't have as much, but we're working on that. And that's why we're here tonight. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm excited. Pastor Chaplain Warren, AKA Brian Wharton.
Good night, everyone. How you doing? How you doing? My name is Pastor Chaplain Warren. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm also a youth advocate, basketball coach for the last 15 years, mentor, youth life coach, gang interventor, against gun violence. Everything that's negative to the youth, I'm against. Everything positive, I'm uplifting. That's it. So anything positive for the youth, let's go.
So much, Pastor Chaplain. Yes, anything for the youth. And we all have that same sentiment here. And last but not least, for now, we have Harlem Nights, AKA Mr. JEBRON. I hope I said the name correctly. It's been a while since we've spoken. Are you there?
Yes. Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, as you guys can see, I do apologize. My nickname is Harlem Nights, once I am from Harlem. My name is JEBRON FELDER. I'm the founder and CEO of Free Will Sports Education and Wellness, which also stands for SOW, where we sow seeds back into our community with all our life expectancies. So on top of that, so we have a sports program. We cover everything from basketball, football to lacrosse to soccer and hockey. Then we have our education program, which we're licensed by the Board of Education to run our STEM programs. Then we have our health and wellness program. We also have our mentoring program, which is called the GLEAN. GLEAN stands for Guidance, Leadership, Enthusiasm, Aspiration, and Momentum. And then we have our food pantry, which, yes, they go on one of our masks right there, yes, yes. And then we have our food pantry, which is sowing seeds of edible wellness. And we've been doing this for about 5 years legitly and 10 years just for the love of it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So guys and ladies, obviously, we have such a great collective of people. And as I stated, others are joining us. And yes, it's so funny because as I meet my friends, and I guess we're like family in my mind. I mean, if you want to be my family member, you can be. If not, I get it. But I have a little bit of trinkets from all of you, and I have to find my lipstick. Tonight I'm wearing purple Mimi, but Mimi has sent me some of her product as well, and I'm going to get that before the end of the show. But we have a flyer from TOTNEY. We have a mask from Real Wheel, which is Free Will, sorry, from Harlem Nights, aka Mr. JEBRON. And I love the fact that we're all entrepreneurs and we're all working on different things. And of course, I want to collect a little bit of everything from everybody. And very soon you'll be collecting stuff from me as well. I do have a couple of things in my, case of things and trinkets, etc. But we'll be talking about all that later. Tonight, I'm just so excited because we are doing something that relatively doesn't happen in our communities. One of the things that I love about this group of people is not only are we entrepreneurs, we're all in different arenas, but we have a heart for the main, I think, caveat, the main group of, people, the future, right? Like a lot of us care about our youth, about where the future is going, where the children are going. And that to me means everything because that's my heart, right? So that's one of the things that I love, especially about Ty from day one of meeting her, Pastor Chaplain Wharton, Mimi all the way in Canada. I say Canada, but it's Canada. She does this work. And of course, TOTNEY giving back. And then of course, Ron Peterson and, JEBRON, all of you are on the same page. And we are working on decreasing our debt, increasing our wealth, but there's so many different ways to do that. Having multiple streams of income, as we know, but also really learning how to stop being in fear of what's out there, the endless potentials. One person that we don't see tonight yet is Mr. Kenyon Gregory. He's another advocate and a youth that is really making great strides in this AI world, crypto world, Amazon world. But you know what? We're hopefully going to get him on, but sometimes he travels. So let's see what's going on with him. In the interim, before we kick off in regards to different ideas, different objectives, etc., I wanted us to go back full circle on what Mr. Ron Peterson was sharing just before we hit that record button, because he was sharing something that it's not really new to me. However, the more information we gather from the other communities is what I'm looking to do. And Mimi also knows this in regards to that AI, artificial intelligence world, that Amazon world, the Siri world. I call them all different worlds because let's think about it. We are not necessarily added into these conversations, but when we have a person or two that are in the Amazon world or in the, AI world, etc., we have to learn and we have to work side by side with these people because this is the way our entire world is functioning, and it's going to get even wilder. So Ron, before we kick off, can you please share some of the stuff that you were sharing moments ago before we went live and started recording?
Fantastic. We were talking a little bit about AI, and so I had to really share with the group that I'm living vicariously through my daughter in terms of the world of AI. And I say that because she backdoored into that by being at Amazon World Services. Many folks don't know that as a part of Amazon, AWS is their division that deals with technology, and they're the foremost in terms of cloud-based storage and technology. And so her and I often have talked about various kinds of things and various as it relates to technology. She's got a background from spelling in computer engineering and have done all of those kind of things. It's working her way up through corporate as that person who sit by the door to assist and to promote the interest of people of color, women, and people of color. And so, the world of AI, it can be a tool for or against. And what I mean by that is for or against people of color. Now, if we're not at those tables that are making those decisions about programming, about how to use that technology, then it's against us, and what is the proper application for it, then it's really against us. However, it has a proper place, in everything that we do. I just got a 2019 car, and the damn thing is like AI all over the place. The guy that's sold it, one of the managers, he says, like, he's old school too. He says, look, I mean, you got to have a degree in technology to even tune up this car. It does everything. It gives you all kinds of signals as you go down the road. So AI it's an interesting technical piece. However, we have to be in those decision makers. We have to impact and influence the decisions of engineers as it relates to us of color, women, and others that don't have that voice or not at that particular level. So I was sharing that with those that were on earlier. And ethics, what does that mean? I mean, basically, it's how we treat each other. And so she was able to carve a position in AWS that talks about, you know, uh, AI from an ethical perspective and putting that voice to those that are sitting at the tables. I mean, how do we deal with each other ethically? And so how do we write that and drive that into AI? Because if we don't have that kind of voice or that, you know, in the ear of those who are programming and making those choices and the decisions, then how we treat it as a people, nonetheless, we're the last on the total poll. How we treat it as a people in general will be affected by adverse AI. Because let's, you know, everybody has their own agenda, and we've got to be at the table to influence the agenda such that we have our position, our rightful position, you know, and such that AI, the technology, will be used as a tool as for us, as opposed to identifying, you know, the brother running down the street and profiling him. Oh, okay, then matching the profile, now he's in a database. Okay, now, or, you know, you have to do eye scanning and facial recognition because your landlord wants to put it on, you know, as a feature to open the doors, you know, the main door of your apartment building. Maybe not, depending on that, you know, that landlord owner, what's the agenda. And so, you know, there are some groups, some tenants association in Brooklyn that fought against that. This is, wait a minute. You know, that's something else we're not ready for. And they got together and fought against that. So ultimately, the landlord couldn't put that technology in there because they weren't part of the conversation. So all of that brings to bear in terms of, not only in terms of AI, across the social economic perspective, is that where are our voices in this? And so I leave you with, you know, with that thought. And so that's why I'm so pleased to be here with, you know, with you and sharing and bringing some of the experiences and some of the nuances that I've gone through, such that it be a learning example. And perhaps, you know, I mean, these are some bumps in the roads and some curves that you don't have to take, and that the curves that you take will help the next generation, or the bumps in the roads as well. So I thank you.
Amazing. And for those that are out there that don't believe all of these types of theories and the different things that are happening presently, this is why we're doing what we're doing, to not only educate our community, but acknowledge the fact that this is happening and we cannot be against the grain. I tell people all the time, we have to work with the beast, right? Mimi and I talk about this all the time. We have to figure it out. We have to work with the communities that are putting all of these programs into place. And instead of playing the video games all day, I like to say, why not learn how to develop the video game? Why not invest into something that's going to keep you in the positive flow of money, of entrepreneurship, etc., on a continuum? And that's what we have to educate ourselves in these arenas. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Ron Peterson real quick? Please unmute yourself, talk to Mr. Ron Peterson about what he just shared, because this is the time now for sure. I guess you don't have any questions for Mr. Ron Peterson, but if you do, feel free to come back to him later for sure. But what he just shared is something that's happening. And of course, with his daughter working directly in this field, that's a whole nother ball game. Mimi, I wanted us to recap a little bit as well, because you have a ton of information that coincides with what Mr. Ron was stating earlier. And if you have any new updates in regards to this world that we're in, please, please, please update us for sure.
Okay, so I just completed my Art of Artificial Intelligence. I guess it's an information series. It has 10 episodes. Getting ready to be published on YouTube. I wanted to add more of a visual aid, as well as text on the bottom so people can easily follow along. And it goes over a few points about AI. I tried to simplify it in the best way that I know how. Each episode is under 5 minutes long. There's 10 of them. And I also go over the ethics, how machines learn, the social and economic impacts of artificial intelligence. And picking up on what Ron said, you know, the key here, I think, is to be part of the conversation and to be constantly contributing, because the data that's being collected is happening, you know, whether we are signing off on it or not. So, you know, having methods or laws or procedures in place, you know, so humans can always be remaining in control is kind of the basis of this series. I wanted to educate, and also I wanted to educate for a few reasons. So the first one being, there's a lot of fear when it comes to artificial intelligence. People don't really, you know, people don't really feel like they could grasp the main concepts. However, I do think it's possible. So I tried to simplify it as much as I can, so to educate, so there wouldn't be a fear, and to also continue the conversation, you know, for this to be something where humans are always and will be in control. The conversation needs to keep going, and this needs to happen across every single industry, because artificial intelligence is not only in the healthcare sector or the service sectors. It's literally in every, in the way we shop, in the way we consume information. So I did put in a few recommendations and suggestions in the series, mostly around transparency, accountability, how the new uses of data will affect us, how we can stay safe and secure, basically be operating in a world where we have a safe internet. You know, I think that's the goal. When the time comes and policy is solidified and written, everyone who's creating AI, designing AI, should always be within the context of the legalese of wherever this is operating. So it will, I believe, will require a new kind of world order and a new kind of system and laws to govern this space in particular, which we haven't really seen to be successful yet. And it's going to be a brand new ecosystem. You know, as much as artificial intelligence, like procedures and products are replacing, you know, human tasks, I think there's a lot of money to be made in this. And just like Ron said, you know, continuing the conversation, bringing forth the biases, the unethical standard, the mistakes that are currently being made within the algorithm, and having answers to certain questions, I think is really important. To have an ethical standard when it comes to AI, for sure.
And for both, I guess, Ron and Mimi, because Mimi, you hit a very valid point, and that's why we're here. In regards to money and getting paid, right? What are some of the ways that, in your mind, I know, Ron, your daughter is really immersed into this, but Mimi, I know you have programs set up around this. I don't know how, you know, you have it, you know, that you want to share, what have you, but how can people get paid in learning and growing with the machine? Because I think having multiple streams of income is so important, especially now, saving up for the future. Also, this is why we're here, guys, because guys and dolls, because right now the future is so uncertain. But one thing we do have a certainty on is AI, is the machine, is, you know, Google and all the different programs that are in place with Amazon and things like that. So please, if you can, shoot us some information on how we can get paid, or how we can partner with you and work, you know, towards establishing some funds for the future.
Yeah, so I would love to share. The reason I was inspired to create this is because of my own artificial intelligence product. I've been involved in the cryptocurrency space since 2015, and I've only had success because I had people that I trusted and mentors who guided me very early on. Just to kind of throw it out there, you know, there's certain jobs, just to get our mind like in that place, certain jobs that I believe will be replaced. Definitely travel agencies, we'll see banks, a lot of jobs at the bank being replaced. Mail, obviously, that's kind of already on its way out. You know, certain games, or like when it comes to sports, we're going to see a lot of technology replacing the accuracy of maybe a referee. So the way I've been utilizing artificial intelligence is through the cryptocurrency space. It's what inspired me to break it down to the public and to people looking to change policy. And if anyone would like to learn more about the product that I offer, we use it through Endotech, and I'll drop the name of the company in the chat here. The website's endotech.io, and this is an actionable intelligence software company. It was built to navigate through the blockchain. So if you are familiar with cryptocurrency, some of these terms might sound familiar to you for the very variety of different cryptocurrencies that are out there. So Bitcoin being, you know, a major player, the major player, the mother of all coins, I'd like to call her. We also have Ethereum that we utilize through the software, and it's essentially a robot that's continuously hunting for opportunities to enter, whether a buy or a sell. And we're seeing quite a healthy profit return. Again, anyone who's interested in continuing the conversation, I'm happy to show you what the numbers look like through my account personally. And yeah, it's been a really exciting space, and I also feel very empowered to be educating others about this, because I think we're at a time where that saying like, I can't believe this is happening, or, you know, like, I've never heard of this before. You know, we're kind of, the way technology is moving so fast, you know, certain products, certain topics, like, it's not surprising anymore. You know, anything is possible. There's a lot of power when it comes to pay-per-click advertising online through different, you know, web search engines. You know, we all know Google Ads. There's a multitude of others. We're here in North America, so what's available to the masses on a more global reach is a bit different. And the way algorithms work sometimes can be changed depending on where you're located. So to have access to a tool like this has really empowered me to not only want to teach others about artificial intelligence, but also make sure that I am kind of leading from the back. You know, I'm involved emotionally, mentally, physically, financially. To me, I feel like I'm married to this. You know, it's what's really taking, I had to make a decision to put my trust into this particular product through Endotech, and so far I have only great things to say, and anyone who's interested, I would love and welcome the conversation.
Anybody have any questions for her? And I know Ron has, you know, unmuted his phone or device. Anybody have any questions in regards to what Mimi shared before we move forward?
Yes, I do.
Oh, excellent.
So pardon the noise in the background. So this goes for the young lady and the gentleman that just spoke. So within my youth program, we have a STEM program where we teach kids how to build and work robots and how to overall create things through STEM. I would definitely like to speak with you guys offline so we can work together possibly with that.
Absolutely, I would love to. I remember taking robotics. It wasn't a robotics class. I think it was just like a small part of our curriculum.
All right, real quick, I know you said Harlem Nights, there's noise. Okay, I think that noise is gone.
Yeah, so taking that little robotics.
Sorry, Totney, I think that's Totney's phone or device.
Okay.
If we could mute that.
I'm sorry. It sounds bad.
It's okay, boo. All right, here we go.
Yeah. So I was saying, I'm just recalling a time where I was able to, you know, try out robotics, learn how to program something for the first time. You know, now I think a lot of our youth today are picking up technology a lot faster than we did, or we had the chance to. So learning how these things work and kind of taking it apart and putting it together is definitely very like inspiring, and that can always spark something in either youth or an adult, anyone, to learn something new. So I would definitely love to get on board with that, and we'll connect offline. Ron, did you want to add anything?
Yes, I sure do. Just in terms of, you know, how do we make money in this industry, in any industry, what really comes to, something that comes to mind is with whatever product, service, or your knowledge skill set, it begins to be networking. Network, whatever it is. So having said that, I liked whatever information you have so that I can share that, you know, with my daughter. And, you know, from there, you never know what can happen out of that. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm interested in, there's so many products out there in that regard, but interested in learning more about that on a personal level, and, you know, and how it makes those, you know, whatever the robot does, whatever it does, you know, and how, not so much how per se, but is how do we use that as a tool, you know, for collaboration, or for, you know, for making money, you know, for whatever it is. I'm all ears to, you know, to learning more about that as well, because I have some ultimate strategies, and that I'd like to see how do we do that. And if you're also versed with and using the technology and other kinds of ways, I'm very much interested in being all ears, such as, you know, smart contracts, and how do we deploy that, and who's doing that, you know. So I'm also learning those side kind of usage, you know, of you know, of the tech, blockchain rather, technology. So I'm all ears for that as well.
Well, I can tell you, if anyone on this call has either a Facebook business page or an Instagram business page or a Pinterest account or even a YouTube account, you know, you're halfway there to getting that monetized. Algorithm literacy, I believe, is something that will be an essential skill. And this includes self-driving cars, you know, posting on social media, curating content. The first thing that comes to my mind when it comes down to making money off of artificial intelligence is if we're contributing to the content, to the data, there are always going to be ways where we can make money out of these little simple things that people are contributing right now for free, high quality content. But as more content is published and more data is contributed to the Internet of Things, we're going to see more of a niche. And I think certain societal norms around this technology will just be blown to shreds. And the algorithm will be able to identify, you know, which category you would be placed in when trying to monetize certain things like that.
Wow, excellent. And that is the new wave, right? Ty has a question or a comment. Oh, real quick,
Hey,
we're welcoming somebody in just now, DEIDRE. I'm not sure who this is. Maybe they found us online, but either way. Oh, real quick, before Ty gets into her spiel, we're now open to the public. As you all know, previously, we were not open to the public due to the fact that we wanted to build a community, learn each other, and really gather information in order to distribute, you know, properly, etc. Now that we've done that, we are open to the public. So I'm going to send the link again to the group, and all of you can send out to your contacts. We should probably be on here for another half an hour or so. We're going to be on a little bit later tonight because we want to talk about the workshop, but we want to get all this information out first, especially when it comes to monetization, because guess what? We want to be super wealthy, not to hoard the money, but to learn how to grow our money and also give back in our communities, because that's what we do as a people. So Ty had a question, a comment, etc. If anybody else has one, just, you know, unmute yourself, say hello, or raise your hand in the chat. Thank you. Go ahead, Ty.
Good evening, everybody. So once again, my name is Ty, and as I play the role for the youth, my question would be, how does someone at an entry level of AI knowledge, of AI awareness, begin to take these necessary steps? Either Mimi or Ron can answer. To begin to make money on something that they might not know so much about. How do you mix the two? How do you mix the learning process and the money building together? Or is it just a learn then build kind of thing? How would that work for somebody that's interested in the first time?
Juan, would you like to?
Okay, so I'm going to address it from the business perspective because that's what I do, you know, best in terms of it doesn't matter what business is what is the business of business. And so what I do is teach and mentor in terms of business. Okay, how do you know, what kind of business entity should you have, you know, corporate LLC, you know, how do you set that up? How do you put that up? How do you manage a business? So I'm general in terms of on the business side. In respect to young people below the age of 18, okay, so how do you be in business and you're below the age of 18? Because that below that age, you actually can't enter into contracts and agreements, but how do you do that? You know, how do you strategize around that? So, I mean, that's my portion of the conversation as it relates to the technical aspects that perhaps Mimi, and I know in terms of the learning piece, one of the greatest learning environments is a STEM program. So give, you know, much kudos to the brother, you know, the person who, you know, it's working at a STEM program, because that's where it happens at the young age. They begin to, you know, play, they begin to learn and play, they begin to hone their skills in terms of technology, AI being one of them. So at that young age is really like, you know, honing your skill set, and then as well as learning something about business, how to operate and how to manage a business. So I'll leave the rest to Mimi, excuse me.
No problem. Just to piggyback off of exactly what you said, you know, there's I guess there's a set skill set. I'm sure a lot of people on this call have heard of certain programming like C++, Java, learning how to code. It really depends on where you want to really hone in on those skills. But I think just an average person, you know, should you want to be participating in making money off of artificial intelligence, would be to look at what's going on in your supercomputer. How can you streamline it better? You know, a lot of sites now, we don't have like the human support. They're chatbots. If you have, you know, a product and you have an e-commerce store, you might want to look into setting up machine learning within that e-commerce so it can track how your customers are interacting within that store. Other things that kind of come off really quickly off the top of my head would be like to develop an app, again, that is solving a problem. And what Ron said, you know, in business, like you want to be looking at everything as a whole, and the most successful people that I know have solutions for a problem. So for those who are under the age of 18, I'd say encourage learning different skills, whether it's more on the technical side and the programming side, or learning to teach. you know, I feel like I learned to teach because I didn't really know that much about AI about a year ago when I started getting involved with my artificial intelligence product. I just saw what it did and it just, you know, I can't believe that this is real, you know? So I went out there and I started a focus group, and with everything being online now, I was able to put out ads on Facebook, and I got a great response back, and I was able to interview different people, 100 people actually from all over the world, and ask them specific questions about artificial intelligence. And I know not everyone has the time to do that, but it was something that helped me compile the data to deliver this series, which was my goal. So Ty, I hope that answers some part of your question, but in general, you know, to get involved with artificial intelligence, you need money. It takes money to make money. So whether you're investing in within any of these products, technology, markets, you can't, it's very rare that you'll see an opportunity where the startup cost is $0.
Wow. I thank you. Ty, what did you have to say?
I was just going to say thank you very much. You know, I'm over here taking my notes.
Yeah.
I will definitely be contacting both of them separately,
Yeah.
you know, to furthermore ask any other questions, you know, that's in detail. But I appreciate the knowledge, and I'll be speaking to you guys later. I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And Ty, if I can, I said something. I don't want to imply that if you're under 18, you can't make money with whatever it is how do you protect yourself because of the legality of a person 18 or under 18 legally can't enter into contracts and agreements. But for sure, because of the internet, I mean, everybody's making money. Everybody's making money. So if they're under 18, 17, 16, 15, they got a product or a service, yeah. It's how do you begin to, you know, look at the business of protecting oneself, given the nuances of around business law. So I just want to make that a little clear.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm gonna definitely be getting into you know, to ask some more questions. So I appreciate the opportunity.
And I see Mr. Ron and Mimi sharing in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, please share anything you want via the chat as well. As you know, we have a group on WhatsApp. We share information, but for now too, so that especially somebody like Ty, who's really interested, can go refer back to that chat right away. We have a new person with us named DEIDRE. DEIDRE, are you there? I hope I'm saying that right. I feel like it's DEIDRE or DEIDRE or, okay. They're there, but maybe they can't hear us at the moment, but when they come back on, or if they don't want to come on and speak, that's fine too. You're welcome either way. And I'm excited that you're here learning and growing with us. At this time, do we have any other questions and comments before we get into our workshop that's coming up in less than 72 hours, 48 hours or so? No? All right. All right. So real quick, as you all know, we have an amazing workshop and an opportunity for you all to really, you know, zone in on the fact that we don't have to stay in the current situations that we're in. If you've already sent me an email or contacted me about getting your quote unquote budget together, we don't call it a budget around here. We call it the financial checkup. We initially sent off that document many moons ago, but for anybody that's interested in looking at that, especially Mr. Ron, since you just joined with us, let me know, send me a message either via text, chat, etc. Because what we're doing is we're really identifying the issues that we have with money. And as a people, we have different walks of life that we've been through. Some people are born kind of with a silver spoon. Other people just gotta fake it till they make it, or faith it, right, Chaplain, Pastor, right? Faith it till you make it. And then there's those that really don't give a rat's behind either way, right? And I am not somebody that doesn't care. I really want to leave a legacy in my life, and the people that are particularly around me kind of feel the same way, right? I have mentors. I look up to certain people in certain industries, and when I see their stories, like the Oprahs, like the Tyler Perrys, like these other amazing individuals that started off, you know, with nothing, started at the bottom, now we here. Okay, that's my little rap session for tonight. Anyway, I'm a nerd. Okay, sorry. Okay. Anyway, so when I see certain stories and I hear of people's progress, I'm like, OMG, if they can do that, I can too. So the whole theory of having an economic crisis initiative or a group of collaborative minds is to really see that there is endless possibilities out there, and that's why we do what we do. Thank you so much, Jebron. Jebron has sent his information for those that want to stay connected with him. As you all know too, real quick, I'm an open book. I'm super transparent because what I'm doing here is what God called me to do, and there's so much more for our community. And if I can be utilized as an instrument, as a vehicle for this work, then that's what it's about, right? So if anybody wonders why I take my time to do all of this or whatever, am I getting a paycheck? No, absolutely not. And do I love this? Heck yeah, because I want to see us all leave a legacy. I want us to be successful. I want us to be at Amazon, SW, or whatever Ron stated. And oh, Totney, sorry, we can see you and hear you real quick. Oh, if you want to just mute, that's okay. You could keep the video.
Okay, no, I wanted to be heard. It's okay,
Oh, you
I'm
want to
here.
be heard?
As long as I'm not bothering you guys, yeah.
Oh.
I had a question, but I can't remember it right now, but it'll come back to me. Go ahead.
I love her. All right. Well, let us know when you have that question. And we're right here. Yeah, so we want us to be successful in our individual lives, but as a community, because one thing that frustrates me, and this is why I shared this earlier, and I wanted Ron to wait until we came on live, was for this reason. After my interview with Mimi yesterday, we had a super dope interview. I'll repost that video in our group chat. Within a few minutes, I get hit on YouTube with an entire AI story of, you know, the beginning of Google and the beginning of AI and all this stuff. Because first of all, the universe is listening. There are algorithms and, you know, cookies and all sorts of little things happening 24 hours a day, or 25/8, 366. In other words, while we're sleeping, they know what the heck we're thinking now. Nothing is safe, but again, we can't fight them. So how do we work with them, right? So that's why I do what I do, because I mean, literally no sooner did we get off of the interview, this pops up, and I sat there and I couldn't even move because I'm watching how this whole thing started with like a couple of people in a room no bigger than my kitchen, you know, in India somewhere. I think that's where all this kind of started with Google or whatnot. And then now we see where Google is all these years later. And what I want to share with you guys, and this is the key thing, why we don't have much of anything as a community. And I'm not saying this to be negative or anything, but I saw maybe 2 Black folks throughout this entire production, an hour and a half, right? And I was like, so no Black people can add to any of this scientific, you know, process of Google and cookies and algorithms, and, you know, the list goes on. And that to me is so frustrating when I see things like that. Mind you, the sister that I saw, she wasn't even at the head table. She was on an earphone thing, you know, making calls like in a call center. You know, the brother that I saw looked biracial, which is not a, you know, I'm not racist or nothing, but I'm just saying, like, when you see stuff like that, it's like, this is Google. This is something we utilize all day, all night, in our sleep, etc. And yet we have no parts in it. So when Ron was sharing about his daughter, and yesterday when we met and he was talking about how interested he was in all of this, I was like, oh, let's go. Let's do this together, because this is necessary for our growth and development. So with that being said, Totney, did you recall what you were saying? Pastor Warren, I see you over there thinking. Did you have anything that you wanted to say? Oh, we can't hear you.
I said, no, not yet. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just taking it in.
Okay, excellent.
One thing though, I did I meant to tell you, I did watch that movie, Her Mother.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty deep. It's different.
I have no idea what Her Mother is, but please share more.
On was it Netflix? Is it Her Mother? It's about like with the AI, and the lady and her daughter, and she was her daughter was like in a like almost like in a suspended.
It's called I Am Mother. I Am Mother.
Yeah,
I see that too. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, It was deep.
All right, drop that in our group chat, please, because I am not a movie person. I'm typically making productions and, you know, and things like that. But if you guys can drop that so I can recall, since you all know what that is, that's super dope for us to learn more about for sure. We have another new member, it looks like, that just joined on board, who actually happens to be in one of my groups that I love very, very much. Angela, are you on? Can you hear me okay? And if so, would you like to share some things about yourself and the work you do? All right, we'll wait for Angela. Angela? All right, well, she just dropped off. Maybe she didn't want to be put on the spot. I'm sorry, come back when you can. All right, so let's move forward, guys, with our workshop. And DEIDRE is still here. You know, again, if you want to jump in, please feel free to do so. If not, we're going to move into the workshop portion. As you guys know, due to the fact of the pandemic, we can't have more than 10 people in our facility. However, we have approximately 8 or so that are joining with us on 125th Street. And we will have our guest speaker, who is our business banker. He's an investment banker. He really cares about our community. We can't say his name or the bank institution because there's all sorts of laws and regulations that we're going to follow, you know, strictly, because we don't want to put anybody in jeopardy, especially when it comes to, you know, the work that they do. But I want you all to know that they will be there. They have confirmed. That's kind of why I push so hard too, because as a Black man, you know, in this industry, first of all, how many times do we go into a bank and we see a Black investment banker, you know, or a Sri Lankan, you know, investment banker here in the city, or, you know, somebody of color. So it's like, I love the fact that we have people that are in our industries that really care about the community and want to show us different methods of saving money and just digging deep into what our issues are and how to solve these issues. And so it's not just going to be about the investment part, it's going to be about putting our minds together as a community. One thing about me is I love community, and I love our people. Again, leaving legacy, growing, making waves in all these different industries. So it's going to be a session where we're going to be talking, communicating, kind of like this, but with more information, as well as that accessibility to an investment banker to learn different things. One thing I want to share for sure about him is he's the person that told me what I need to be investing in, including but not limited to, drumroll please, AI, technology, these different industries that we can have a piece of the puzzle. Like Mimi stated earlier, it takes money to make money, but it's not impossible to take a few coins and rub them together and do something with them. But it starts with that mindset, because when I met him, you know, what, 2+ years ago or so, I'm not gonna lie, I've been having money stocked away, and I can say this publicly because I'm not a multi-billionaire or a millionaire yet, but either way, I want people to learn this, right? I have coins, you know, in stocks and mutual funds or whatever, but I don't know what any of that language is because I'm not a finance person. I know how to save money, I know how to put money somewhere, but I don't know what the heck that money is doing. Ty also talked about this on one session, like, you know, how do we make the most for our money, right? Ty, you stated that, like, when you're saving money, you're getting like 1% for every 72 years or something. It's so weird how this thing happens with our money, yet, right, Ty? You remember, right? And it's
Yes.
frustrating. Go ahead and share that part, Ty, that you said that day, or if you remember around that thought process.
I remember a little bit about that day where we was learning about the certain kind of bank accounts that you could put your money in to make it double. And I believe that was 9 years. It was a name that I couldn't wrap my name around, but you know, I got it in my notes. But I was saying that I was one of those people as well that kept accumulative lump sums of money just put away in a savings or saved up in a house. And it kind of was frustrating to me because I wanted to know what to do with it, but I didn't know who to go to, you know? And that's why this group is so important, because it sets you up with a system of networking abilities with people that are professionals, or at least have that, you know, professional level of knowledge that people are willing to teach. And this is not something that's really given or something that's really open to people like us, because there's no community or school or class we could go to real quick and get like an AI certificate that's in our community or something like that. So that's why I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the opportunity to learn about investment banking, because once again, there's nowhere we could go that's going to educate our youth, but that's going to educate our people of color on how to advance ourselves with the use of our own finances, you know?
Perfectly said, Ty. And that's why I love Ty, because Ty really thinks about things like this. And that's why, you know, coming together is important, because like she said, you don't just go to a university and get a degree in something like this. And furthermore, a lot of this information is kind of like tucked away. It's secret, right? But I'm the type of person, when I find out about it, I'm like, oh, let me tell y'all what I found out today. Because I think that we should be privy to this information. And TOTNEY, I think, is back with her question.
I was just going to make a comment. I wish I could have been a part of that that conversation. I'm happy to learn from that investment banking and knowing what to do with your money. Mm-hmm. I could have definitely used that conversation.
Well, no worries. We have that recording as well. So I will dig it up. And I know Ty has a lot of notes too. So Ty, maybe we could work together and, you know, facilitate something where we put those notes together with that video clip and we could reshare it, because that's really important for the people. And that's why we do what we do. So yeah, we got you, sis, because at the end of the day, we really want people to be on the same page. Real quick, because I know a few people have to get going and we're going to wrap up in just a few minutes. 1 second, Ron, don't leave us. 125th. So for those that are here locally in New York City, please on December 11th, which is 2 days from now, Friday, 6 p.m. we'll be at 215 West 125th Street. On the 4th floor. We're having 10 people there. Now, we're going to be there for a couple of hours. I like to tell people before I have events, because sometimes people just don't think about certain things, but I'm always like, oh, do this first and that or whatever. If you have any suggestions for me, please feel free to share. For you that are coming and that you know you will be sitting there for a little while, either eat before or bring snacks. We can have snacks at the facility. We also have a very large kitchen. If you want to bring snacks for others, please feel free to do so. Typically with events, I'll bring a whole thing of food and drinks, etc. But with COVID, you know, I haven't been able to facilitate that whole thing or whatnot. But if you have, like, you know, something that you want to bring, little chips or something, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, I can stop by somewhere and get some stuff if you guys want. Otherwise, again, you guys can bring your own stuff. Yep, 6 p.m. on the 11th, which is on Friday on the 4th floor. But I will have to get your names checked in from security. This is actually my office space, and it's very, you know, very like, you know, with the whole COVID thing, we have to know who's going to be there, and, you know, just hit me up and let me know that you're definitely going to be there in person. You'll get to meet our investment banker. You'll get to share and discuss different things. I will have sheets out for you all in regards to what you can take home with you to keep this momentum going, and some notes and things like that. Ty, if you want to work on something that you have with your notes, because I know Ty loves to take notes, and if you want to share anything that, you know, you think the people want to know about, or if you want to send me an email or a message, then heck, I'll print them up, because Ty is very diligent in that arena. And if any of you, Harlem Nights, you want to come in live and share anything, or if anybody wants to email anything that will be an addition to our group for us to print out and have ready, let me know, because I have the printing capabilities at the office. It's a conference room setup. I'm learning the whole system, because we have a major big screen TV that, or, you know, computer thing that I'm learning. But if any of you know, oh, Ron was there yesterday. Ron, we had a meeting there yesterday. If anybody knows how to utilize these gadgets that are really super high tech with like 5 remote controls, come in early, work with your girl AniYa A, so we can get the rest of the community on the big screen. Because I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot going on with all those different gadgets. Anyway, guys, this was so great. If you have any other questions and comments, let me know. 6 p.m. We're going to be there, 215 West 125th Street. We'll be shutting down by 9 p.m. or a little bit before, because as we know now, too, with COVID, everything has to shut down at 10. And I don't want my office manager to strangle me. And we want to be able to utilize our space again. But we're going to definitely have a hard close by like 9 no later than 9:15. And yeah, I guess that's what I wanted to share. Fourth floor again, and you guys have contact with me on our device on WhatsApp. And if you want to share, you know, this meeting and information with anybody else for the Zoom, we're going to be shooting that out. But if anybody wants to be there physically, okay, and we haven't met that 10-person criteria yet, you let me know ASAP so I can put them on the list, because right now we have about 7 to 8 physical bodies, but again, we have that Zoom capability as well. I think I covered everything. What else did we have, guys? Any questions and comments? Ty is thinking, well, TOTNEY, sorry, I see TOTNEY thinking. Okay.
I
Well,
just wanted to say
yes, Ty.
that my notes are not the most professional thing out, you know? I'm more like a scrapbook noter, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna gather the information that I do have and see if I can, you know, allocate a little summary.
Okay. Listen,
Right.
I love the fact that you even have notes, because at the end of the day,
Okay.
you're a thinker. And that's what I love
Thank
about
you.
you. So I know when you do this, wait, hold on. Let me get my pen. I got my mascara close enough. Ty goes like this. There she goes with the pen. Yes. So that means that was a good point and you wrote it down. I know.
Right.
I know.
That's right.
So we'll put that together.
Right.
And then of course, Mimi will come through from that Zoom because she's all the way in Canada, which we love that we have the international connection. And Pastor Chaplin should be there live, right? Pastor Chaplin from Brooklyn, New York. TOTNEY.
Oh, yes, I'll be there.
Okay, good. And TOTNEY should be there, and so will Ron. JEBRON FELDER, we're working on JEBRON, but Ty is definitely going to be there. But JEBRON FELDER should be there too, right?
Yes, you know, I'm all over the place. I'm kind of cooking at the same time, so I'm trying to flip my hands all over the place.
Oh, you cook too? Oh, wait, what?
Nah, don't put that out there. Don't put that out there. I'm no chef. I'm trying my best here.
Okay. Well, we're not gonna push you. Yeah.
I'll definitely try to be there physically. My calendar is open that night, well, that evening, so I could see what I can do.
No problem. Thank you. So yes, whatever we can do, guys, to make this a smooth transition. And again, grow. Save those coins, learn where to put those coins. We're going to have real people, and this will be the beginning of many workshops and many collaborative efforts so that we can grow as a people. Cool beans?
Yeah. Yay.
Before we shut down, we do a little thing I wanted to do with the newcomers, especially because I feel like as we go through our days, sometimes we don't breathe enough, we don't relax enough, we don't, affirm the positive messages that we want to say to ourselves because we just let life overtake us. So real quick, we do a little thing where we have positive affirmations and a breathing technique. And then sometimes we have the man of God pray, but sometimes he feels like, oh, you already did it through your whole affirmation thing, right, Pastor Chaplin? So we get it. But if you do want to close us out in prayer, feel free to do so. Somebody is joining us right now. That's awesome, Blossom. All right, so we're going to do our affirmations. And for those that are still coming in, no worries. This is all being recorded and you will get the link in just a little bit. Just let me know who you are because I don't know Galaxy Note. That sounds like a highly technological device. And I have an Android that's like $50, so whatever. Okay, praise God. I know I'm a nerd. So real quick, we're going to go into our breathing technique. And as you all are breathing in through your noses and out through your mouths, and as we're affirming these words, remember how amazing it's going to be when you're living your best life, right? And we can live our best lives now. So we can close our eyes. We can keep your eyes open. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you do this a third time, say it with me. I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am wonderfully made.
I am wonderfully made.
I am chosen for greatness.
I am chosen for greatness.
I am living my best life.
I am living my
I
best
am
life.
living my best life.
I am already rich.
I am
I am
I
already
am
rich.
already rich.
I am fully aware of my surroundings.
I am fully aware of my
I am
surroundings.
fully aware of my surroundings.
I am super healthy and super wealthy.
I am super
I am
healthy and
super
super wealthy.
healthy and super wealthy.
And there you have it, folks. We just completed another great
Okay.
night. We
Awesome.
are going to live out all of our dreams and our desires as we continue to build and grow. And I may get emotional, and the reason being is because I just want to see the best for our community and our people. And as we complete one step at a time, just know that we're putting seeds into the universe of making the greatest change ever. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And I can't wait to see you physically on Friday. God bless you. Let's stay in touch and rock on.
All
Good night, everyone.
right. Okay, thanks, Anaya.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I just want to say God bless everyone. Everyone be safe. May the
Thank
Lord
you.
prepare your steps before you walk through them, and you walk through life confidently with peace in the midst of chaos, as you should. In the
That's
mighty
right.
name of Jesus. Let's go.
Let's go.
Amen. And I want to get with you too about the
Thank
youth. We
you.
all got to keep connected about the youth. What's your name again? What's his name? So I can write it down.
Pastor Chaplain Wharton.
Yes, Pastor Chaplin Warren. I like that. Okay. All right. I'll be talking to you.
All
Okay,
right.
definitely. Let's
Good night,
connect.
child.
Let's connect. Let's get these youths back.
Let's get them
That's
back. You guys
right.
are all
That's
in the
right.
group chat. You're in the group chat
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Connect,
All right.
connect.
Let's get it,
All
Ty. Be
right. See
safe,
y'all
all right?
soon.
All
All
right.
right. God bless
See you
y'all.
on
Safe.
Friday.
God bless.
God bless. Thank you, everybody. Love you all. Oh, Latricia Williams just joined. We're going to talk in just a few.
Nah, we're going to talk.
Okay. Got
All
you,
right.
Pastor.
Blessings,
Later, everybody.
blessings.
Blessings. Thank you.